Hi, my friends and neighbors. My name is Andrew Rudman, and along with my running mate, Roland Levy, I'm running for town council this November 8th. For those of you who know me and those of you who don't, I really am one of the lucky guys. I've been married to my wife, Stephanie, for 37 years, my best friend, my confidant. I have two children who really aren't children anymore. My daughter, Lauren, 29, who's a fourth grade school teacher, and my son, Brett, who's 25, who works for a major New York City corporation, who both were fortunate enough to go through the Oradell public school system and the Riverdale school system. We're also really lucky because in 1991, or over 25 years ago, when my wife and I were looking for our first home, we found Oradell. What a great place to live. What a tremendous place to raise our family. So of course, when I was asked to volunteer my time, how could I say no? Oradell's been such a great town to us. So in 1992, when my daughter turned 5 years old, that's right, my 29-year-old daughter was 5 years old, I decided to manage her T-ball team. What fun times, and I really do miss those times. I then was asked to join the Oradell Little League board. I served on that board for over 10 years, ending with being the vice president of Little League. In my professional career, I've also been pretty lucky. I started out in the music industry, and when you're in your 20s, trust me, being in the music industry was fun time. I now work for a major office refreshment services company called Corporate Essentials, where I'm the director of sales, and I manage 10 people and $40 million worth of business. In 2004, I was asked to run for town council, along with my running mate at the time, Rob Pizzuto. We won both council seats. We were sworn in January of 2005, and we jumped in head first. Some of my accomplishments back then, the formation of Oradell Public Television, which a lot of you are benefiting from or watching even today. You now can watch your town government, zoning boards, planning boards from the comfort of your own home. You don't need to leave and go to Borough Hall. You can watch it at home. I also listened to the residents back then, and there was a major concern about safety at the intersection of Oradell Ave and Kindercamack Road. So what did I do? I didn't wait. I picked up the phone. I called Bergen County. We discussed the issue, and we now have a left turn lane and a left turn signal at that intersection. More safety for the pedestrians, more safety for the motorists. It was really pretty simple. So why am I running again? The easy answer is just to say because I was asked. But that's not really the reason. The real reason is there's still work to be done. We are the only town in Bergen County, the only municipality that does not have a police chief. There's 70 towns in Bergen County. Oradell is the only town that doesn't have a police chief. So why does that matter? It matters because we don't have a seat at the table. So when all the other chiefs in the county meet to discuss school safety, maybe terrorism, they talk about grant money available, trainings that are available. We don't have a seat at the table because we don't have a chief. Even as late as the September 27th meeting of the council, the Republican-led council voted no to promote one of our captains to police chief. I don't understand why not. It's such a benefit to our town. I know that they're pushing to have a public safety director, but as you all recall, people came out in droves against that. We want somebody in town to be our chief that knows the town, knows the people, knows the issues, not somebody from the outside. We definitely need a police chief. That's one of the main reasons that I decided to run. The other has to do with fiscal responsibility. I believe wholeheartedly in fiscal responsibility, but yet the Republican-led council a few years ago sold one of our major town assets. We have a cell tower down by the DPW. Nobody sees it. It's unobtrusive. But it generated almost $100,000 a year in revenue. They sold it. They took the money, millions of dollars, they put it in the bank where you get virtually no interest, and they never gave any money back to the town. Maybe to offset our taxes a little bit, or to fund the library, which finally was done, but took so many years to fully fund our library, the centerpiece of our town, or to fix our sidewalks, or for road improvements. It's not beneficial to have 20% of our budget in surplus just sitting in the bank. That's not being fiscally responsible. That's why I'm running, and that's why I'm asking for your vote on November 8th. Thank you.
Hi there, friends and neighbors. My name is Roland Levy, and I am very excited to be running for Oradell Town Council with my running mate, Andrew Rudman. My husband, David, and I fell in love with Oradell and decided to raise our family here. My daughter, Abigail, is 6 years old and in first grade at Oradell Public School. My daughter, Charlotte, is 4 and in pre-K. I will never forget kindergarten orientation last year when the principal at OPS talked about how Oradell Public School is the center of town. We really took that to heart and decided to get as involved as possible. I joined the PTA and became a class mom. I joined the Daisy Scouts and became a co-leader. I became the manager of my daughter's T-ball team. And I also serve on the Oradell Public School Safety Committee. Professionally, I began my career after law school clerking for the D.C. Court of Appeals and working at a small law firm in Washington, D.C. I did that basically because everyone says you have to practice law after law school. However, I always knew that my heart was in public policy and advocacy. I serve as the Senior Director of Public Policy and Advocacy for the International Myeloma Foundation. I ensure that there is federal funding for cancer research, as well as making sure that patients have access to the drugs and assistance that they need. Last year at this time, Councilwoman Tracy Schoenberg and Councilman Roger Tashtian came knocking at my door when they were campaigning for Oradell Town Council. They shared with me their vision for the future of Oradell, and I have to say, I liked it. It was really nice to meet people with similar values and thoughts about how wonderful this town could be. It was at that time when I realized how I could further my involvement in the community by putting my professional expertise to work for my hometown of Oradell. I started to watch the town council meetings on OPTV and attending them in person. And I was shocked, like I'm sure many of you were, to learn that Oradell is the only municipality in Bergen County out of 70 not to have a police chief. I'm running for town council because I believe as Bergen County's #1 town to raise a family, we need a police chief and not a civilian public safety director. We need someone at the helm of the police department that can make us more competitive when applying for grants. And some of that grant money could be used for something else I feel very strongly about, community policing. We need more officers on the streets throughout our community, at our school, and in our downtown area. Speaking of the downtown area, I really believe that we need a more vibrant one. It would be so nice to take my family downtown one evening to dinner at a restaurant. We hope that we can count on your vote to continue the great work that Mayor Diane DiDio, Councilwoman Tracy Schoenberg, and Councilman Roger Tashtian have started in putting Oradell first. Please vote for Andrew Rudman and Roland Levy on November 8th. Thank you.